So it's like a
Yeah, I'm on that.
so it's like very basic, like there's a girls' dorm room, a boys' dorm room, and we have our little private areas.
It affected my eyes, I think.
Yeah, well, like it's very basic. There's like a little farm area on the where we're staying. Yellow house. Just I can use it. 14 days. Or just I was just the music. Yeah. And that was my son's birthday.
Use some internal pages.
So it's like now they just yesterday. So
Yeah.
I'm slowly like.
It's hard work.
And I have all the work cards.
It's hard work. And his last words were actually
Right away.
Michelangelo. He was like the greatest sculptor. Not such a great guy. Poet, an architect, an engineer, like this. Okay, so we're a bit orange, okay, a bit light, so we're gonna use the darker red to darken that, okay? So I'd say add that first. And these are your skins, you probably won't do it.
I don't know where to shoot from, so I have to warm them out. But just find
How other color affects
so
your other
hard, like you
color.
see things and then you don't see things, so it's really like you have to concentrate and how dark it is.
Yeah, it's hard. If you had a black wall, it would make it so much easier, right? The white of the wall is beaming through, and that's why a lot of studios, they go dark gray. Yeah, it's almost a gray-green, because they like the effect on skin if they have models in the room. But if you have a darker wall, right, the contrast, so you'll be able to see that better. If I paint the walls and you're dark, we feel it feels so small and dark. No, I can't do it. But really, I should. If I was serious. Yeah, well, you know when I do the drawing task? It has to be big enough. Let's see, is it big enough to cover the white? Yeah, it's a bit bigger. Make it bigger. On the left side. Wall impossible to get. It's original, yes, blackboard with the plaster. You got it? I hope you take it. Okay, so you can do some painting. You got a wall now to put it up on? Oh, it's okay. It's not gonna, it won't wreck it. No, in fact, if you put a painting like in a closet for 4 years, it'll go kind of yellow. And when you pull it out and put it in the sun, it bleaches the linseed oil in the varnish. Yeah, I mean, I put color on strips facing our south window in the direct sun for 8 years. And then I covered it half with tape. I took the tape off the half and there wasn't a lot of difference. So, you know, I don't think you're gonna lose that much in terms of colors. Yeah, the new modern colors are pretty light fast, they call it. So, even though these are cheaper ones. It's just that, work without a window, I do suggest let's brush it off and oil it out. Because you're working in all the dark areas and you just want to make sure your darks are good. So you're going to push this around. You know how to oil that, right?
Yeah.
See those little containers?
Right.
Those are walnut oil. And then you can just use linseed oil as long as you can get walnut oil. Come on.
Yeah.
You know who this is?
It wasn't me, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll take it. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anoop? Did You ordered coffee with tea or milk?
Yes.
You got one? Oh, Beth. Okay. Beth, you wanted a coffee. Okay. They're good? That's good. Take them in.
Next level. They're very good.
Good. I'm glad you're like that. Okay, so you want to work somewhere, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, let's work on here. Don't. If you're working on the right, we want to move this to the right. Okay, so everything's on the same side. Just checking to see how the values are. I want to check the value of this. I want you to put a window on the green there and a window on the other one. We're just going to check to make sure that they're good. So let me just show you what we're going to do. You're going to take, you're just painting it about 2 centimeters. Okay, all the way along that edge. So you come in all the way along like this, okay, and repaint the entire green. You can repaint that as well. I'll show you how to blend when you do that. Okay, but I wanted to see first how your values work. It looks different, but that's an optical illusion caused by the fact that you haven't blended the edge yet. So if you look up here, there are 2 colors on the left of each of those strips that haven't been blended. See on the left, and two stripes of gray on the left, and then on the right it's the same colors blended. See how they look a little different? They don't look as light anymore, right? The one on the right doesn't look as light because there's not as much contrast. So if you squint, I'll show you how you decide. So if you squint, really squint, can you see that square?
Yeah.
Okay, when I do this, when you really squint, can you see that square?
Yeah.
Not really, not the same though, right?
Not the same.
Not the same. And when I do this, when you see the square, it's more obvious. So this is the one that's the closest.
Oh.
You're not going to get one that matches it because there's 100,000 million different variations of value, and we're just approximating it. So you're going to put that one on there. Okay. And in your head, each time, ask yourself if you're dark enough. You can't let your body make the decision. It doesn't know what's going on. Okay, so you're going to set yourself up ready to make it. Okay, great. So you'll have to put a palette down and get any colors that you need to open that are similar all over there. Because once we start, we can make all the colors that you're missing that are similar. Check again. So here's the glasses. You can try putting these on and have a look at some of those areas that you can see how much, oh, you much better job here, but you haven't painted that area at all. It has no paint on it in that section there. This color has to run all the way down there nice and strong. And then if you look at this, you can see the color above doesn't meet the red below. Get rid of any lines or dots between them.
Okay.
Okay, you still going with the sky?
Yeah.
Moisturize. So a little bit of red above the eyebrow too, right? Oh, that's darker than the one you had there. Is that what you meant? Okay, but you put it on top of the dark one, didn't you there? You put it right on top of the dark one. That's the dark one. You can that one should just be above the eyebrow. So don't put it on top of the dark you already had. You need this one. See this color here, this dark red? That's what goes there, and that's what goes here, and then that one just goes across the top above it.
Okay.
So yeah, take that one off. There's all quits after that. You're fine. So making decisions about what to put.
Yeah.
You put a window on it. If you can't just look at it and guess, you have to, like, I wonder what goes there. Well, put a window on it, pull out your colors and figure out which one it is. You can't guess, because that's what the impression is. And they got it all wrong. It didn't matter to them, right? So there you go. I don't know what bands would be like that in history where it didn't matter if the notes were right, as long as you were going along and making music. And jazz, oh, jazz is hard.
It is.
Hard.
That's pretty much every band.
Garage. Garage. That would be Yeah, we're getting old, Keith. Well, an old master, remember? Yeah, see, it looks better with the painting with your brush. Put the brush down on the surface and move it on the surface where you need it to go. So hitting it is less accurate because you're kind of going, I bet I can get that spot right there. Bam. Oh no, I'm a little high. Oh well, right? Like it's almost like fencing and trying to hit a tennis ball. It's really hard. So it's better to put your brush down on the surface and move it along. Now, that's not a great brush. That's a line painting brush. You shouldn't be using these brushes except for lines. You need really tight filberts. They hold more paint. So let me grab you a few brushes that will hold more paint so you don't have to continue painting with.
Okay.
Because those hold more paint. But when you take them, when you use a brush like this, when you load up the paint, you see how it has a skinny side and a wide side? When you load up the brush, you should be skinnying up the skinny side so it looks even more skinny like that, okay? What you don't want is to just go like this and then the brush doesn't have a skinny and wide side. Because that allows you to use these brushes like a line painting brush, which you've been using, and it holds more paint when you use the wide.
Thank you.
So you still retain the areas back. You don't have to paint the whole thing, just the areas back. Good job. Okay, so you'll probably paint that little section where that line is straight down that curve. You see that line? You see that with it? You've already done those. So one at the bottom, one at the top. Two different shapes. You do that today. Maybe wipe it a little bit away with one of the pointed Q-tips that are under there. See if you can wipe away that overpainted. And every now and again, step back 6 feet with. If you really want to see whether you're going to light, if you really want to see, put the goggles on. No, that's a rattle. No, there's a rattle. Look through the Q-tips. There are pointed ones. They're pointed. They go to right. Get it all. You have to wipe it. Or you have to use a new one. If you use one blending brush for these two colors, you can't use the same brush for this. Because you'd be carrying that color over there and it's not over there. Hence the second one. So each different color edge is a different brush. The next thing is you look at the edge and you look at the degree of soft. It's very blended, isn't it? Very blended. So you're free to do quite a bit as opposed to just a little bit. So that means, blending, start above the surface, do a little wiggles. They're called knitted strokes because you're bringing one into the other. Do little X's or even little circles, bringing one into the other. Look, I'm not moving very, very far, am I? If I went like this, I might destroy that color. So the idea is that you make it look like you really blended them together and you only blended the edge. That keeps the integrity of both colors on both sides. See? Look how soft that is, okay? Now look, I hardly touched that, right? If you press too hard, that's going to get really dark. So, just dance on the surface. Dancing on the surface. I call it skating. Yeah, we're gonna shift that. Like this is gonna become that. And jogging. bit of that. Wipe it on a brush, wipe it all off your brush, and just darken it a bit by dusting it into that. Well, that's again why we're putting the alizarin in there. Okay. We mix these together. We're going for this one. So what's useful, we're in the new one and add a little bit of oleogen gel. Because otherwise, it'll just get worse and worse. But if you add a little bit of this, you can freshen it up a bit. It'll last longer. So get a fresh strip. Take what you can out of that without the lumps and put it in the new one and add a bit of oleogen gel. How's it going? It has a line.
I've seen yours online, it looks
You
great.
can't do circles up here, it will not look like hair. Okay? So when you get up, so you can see that's more of a directional thing, even in the dark. But when you're doing these, and even here, you can take some of that pink and pull it down for blending, the straight line more like in that area. There's only a few places where we do straight line up and down blending, and that is hair, right, with the direction, and wood. Wood, like wood, streets. Maybe rain, maybe if there was rain coming down around somebody, you'd go up and down with the blending. That also lets you know how much you have. See, if we started using that, we're just done. So I'll help you get to it quickly with something else. That means we gotta put a palette down. I don't know. That doesn't look like it. So that's oleogen gel, and that's what you got. So yeah, we got it.
Yeah, okay, no worries.
Darken red.
Yeah.
Now the obvious thing would be black, but our black is blue. So if you add black to that to darken it, you get violet. To go darker, we actually add our darkest orange, which is burnt umber, which is the color you started doing your exam. So let's check where you're at, and I'll see whether you need it. No, I just think a little bit more alizarin will do it. I don't think we need the burnt umber. I just think we need more of that. What do you put more 5 in? Remember what I said about checking color with not just a little dot? Okay, yeah. Is that it? Yeah, but it has to be as dark as what's below. So you're gonna kind of paint it in and make it a little darker like what's below. But yes, that's good. Okay, doesn't it look better filled in? Now here too, you have a missing spot right here. See it? So take something, take this color here, and run that across that spot. See this color? Run it as an edge underneath the dark there all the way to the other side, all the way to get rid of all that rough paint in there. Oh, that's good. They had to figure it out themselves, how to get to the color.
So they've already, like, we did a couple weeks of just like
Wow. It's great. I bet it's weird, isn't it? I've never done it before in my life.
I was like, this is science. You have to test it out. And then they're just like coming off with all sorts of different brush strokes and stuff.
Cool.
I'll have to people started. They're having so much fun. They're like, can we do this?
Well, the thing is, I when it's drawing and painting, this is drawing. You have to have it in the right place. You need drawing where you push the drawing to the ultimate level. I don't. No, I don't. I wish I had like. No, I'm kind of focused on this because it just keeps it simple. And see, so yeah, figure that out with when you switch, you can see it's a little smaller.
Yeah.
Show people how to do the bar so they can do a cartoon without erasing.
Yeah.
And really, they should practice the bar.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Absolutely.
I was looking at trying to get better at the first thing to get it.
You have to do the bar. So if you don't have any at home or whatever, I can give you some to do.
I ended up buying that Charles.
Oh, great. Well, you want a bigger one, right? So what I do is just print one out off the image. Like this, you want one about this size.
Yeah.
Okay, print out the image and that size. Get a really nice piece of paper, tape it on a wall at home, drop your vertical, put a horizontal, start doing it. Do a couple of lines or dots a day, you will get better. And who knows, maybe you'll enjoy it one day and you'll do like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you just do that, just get to that stage without even the shading, you can work from a model in front of you because you know what to do.
Right.
But if you don't do this on a regular basis, you lose the drawing part of it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's kind of built in.
Yeah.
Okay, I think you're good there. We're just gonna put a little bit of gray in there. Put 2 peppercorns fly gray, really small. And that's done. That's the middle of that. Now I also want to make a little bit of a darker version. So after you do that, take a third of it and move it. We're gonna add a bit of burnt umber to try and get that sort of around it. See it? Yeah. This is the middle, and now we're gonna get something. Yeah, that's good. You cleaned that up. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you cleaned up a lot of that stuff that you'd forgotten to paint, really. That's what it was. Or you couldn't see it well enough. I think your red here comes too far over to the left.
Yeah.
So take that color there instead and fill that in with that and make it a bit smaller, okay?
Okay.
Actually, I was in Mexico and they had a hurricane, and all the cemeteries, all the skulls were above ground, sitting around all over the place. Years after, nobody cared. Skulls sitting there and there. So it's like, $1,000 a skull. That's how much a skull goes for, minimum, right, at the skull store. But I'd have to go get them across the border. Imagine trying to explain that. Yeah. I'll ask for it. I actually have a photo of myself holding one up. I had to do it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, just a tiny bit more. Almost done. Okay. You notice how it didn't change the color very much? Isn't that wild?
Thank you.